What is up, guys? Jake from Done Right Games here with our second Coffee Done Right episode, answering your questions about the game that's coming out, ROR. A few questions about that as well this time. You guys are asking amazing questions. Keep it up. If you want something answered that hasn't been answered yet, put in the comments below. I'll try to get to all of them. And I can't wait for this when the game is actually out and you guys are playing it. Can you imagine all the good questions then? But hey, you guys are doing good. There's things you want to know, and I want to give you as much information as we can until the game is actually out there for you guys to see. So first one comes from Super Clash. Jake, is the game going to be, I guess, be same size as COC? And my second question is that, are you adding too many modes in the game? Don't you think normal players will get confused what to focus on? So answer your first question. I don't know the final size yet. We are cognizant of the fact that size matters. We don't want it to be overly large. This is turned into something terrible. But we want to make the game beautiful, and we want to put all the modes and the content that we want to in the game. When you're talking about skins and all those things, I mean, it can add up. But we're trying to make it the best way we can, where you don't have this huge download up front. Maybe it comes as you decide to download it, different things like that. So we're aware of it. I can't tell you the final size yet. Too many game modes, don't you think normal players will be confused? No. I can tell you that we are doing, it will be simple. It will be easy to navigate. It'll be easy to understand. You're not going to be confused, especially coming from a Clash background or a Rival Kingdoms background or a Dawn of Time. If you've played a base building game, trust me, you're not going to be confused on this. Next one comes from Velix Wiebner. Are there going to be loot boxes in the game? No, I hate loot boxes. If you purchase something in the game, you're going to know exactly what you're getting. So no. I don't think it's a name, GLHFL. I feel like so many popular games are released with only one game mode and they add more later. Do you feel confident that all the game modes you've teased will be in the game upon release? Yes, we will have 100% 4 game modes upon release. Now, that much I can promise you. More that we will be testing almost immediately after game launch. We want to get what we've got nailed down and get it done right, and then work on what's coming in the future. But yes, I'm 100%. The game will have them at launch, I promise, and they will be good. Logan Bittner. Hey Jake, so just a small question, but one downfall to COC that I hate to this day is you cannot test your own base. I want to practice on my base to get better, but I can't because no one is looking forward to it. No one is on looking forward to it. Yeah. Honestly, man, your comment, Bato and I were in Mexico, and your comment got us talking about this, and we're looking into it. If it's in the game, you can take credit for it, okay? Because it wasn't something that was on our radar really to actually be able to just build your base and turn around and attack it. But we're working on it, so hang in there. Oh my goodness, guys. Meaty Vikings. Yo, Jake, with the game support voice communications chatting or voice message on chat feature? That was a lot. I'm not sure I read that right. If it does, so that'd be really awesome. Yes, voice. Yes, chat. I mean, we want as robust of communication options in the game as possible. We want to build something that you don't need third-party applications to maintain communication with your friends, with your clanmates, or not clanmates in our game, what would be clanmates. Voice, all that stuff. We wanted it in the game to where you guys can really, again, you don't need that third-party app to run your guild. So that's what we're working on. Oh my goodness, you guys with the names today. DSOFSO. COC, whatever that name is. God, you guys are killing me. Will you have a chance to be able to participate in esports aspect of this game without needing to invest a small fortune for upgrades, etc.? To be able to play at the highest level of upgrades, etc. The Clash Royale, for example, tournament standards, modes for events, but it's almost impossible for someone to become a pro, quote, without a maxed out account that they push to the top of the trophy ladder. With your game, give everyone the chance to one day become a pro. Yes, okay? That's a complex question because esports tends to happen at end game, right? But two things. One, anyone can rise to that level, whether you spend money or not. Now, it will take time, but we also are trying to keep our game in a reasonable time frame. I watched a video just today from Kloss Gaming, and I was talking about like 7 years if you were to download Clash today, hard grinding to get to max level. That is absurd, and it will never be that difficult to get to that end game competitive level. Now, if you're not spending any money, you have to put the time in, but it will be a reasonable amount of time to get to the point where you can compete and do that. So we're doing our best to balance it. I mean, there has to be some balance there, but anyone has the opportunity to do it, and no, you don't have to spend a small fortune. Madness COC. Am I going to need a new iPad to play the game or be able to play it on my iPad 4? I can't tell you exactly what devices it'll run on, but no, you will not need a brand new iPad. We'll do our best to make it compatible with as many as possible, many devices out there as possible, but it's not going to be a game that you need the cutting edge technology to be able to play it and enjoy it. So you'll be all right. Fanny Medhavi. What will you do different from Supercell in respect to how you treat your community? Everything. I mean, that you guys know that was one of my biggest complaints when I was a Clash content creator, was that the communication just wasn't there. So I guess if I had to say a word, what we're going to do differently, it's going to be communication. It's going to be a conversation between us as the developers and you as the players of what is good, what is bad, what you would like to see in the future, etc. And that conversation will be ongoing forever. As long as you're playing the game, we'll be available for you guys to give feedback and us listen to it and truly implement what we can that you want. Not that one person wants something, but if the audience at large wants something, we're going to do our best to put it in the game. Ayush Jain. Hey Jake, longtime fan, first question in 4 years. What's up, man? Thanks for the long-time support. Will the game ensure that skilled players are able to progress faster and have better rewards, which is usually not the case with other games, and that's what repels me from them? That's a tough one, man. That's a tough question because in a sense, yes. You know, more skilled attackers are going to win more events. They're going to, in different game modes, they're going to get bigger rewards. So in that sense, they're going to be able to progress faster. In the other sense, I mean, everyone's upgrade times are the same, right? So in a sense, no. It's a tough one. But I feel like in our game, if you're a skilled player, you're going to feel rewarded for that. That's all I can really say right now. I know what you mean, and we'll do our best. That's a tough one, though. Andrew Day. Hey, Jake, are you talking about more game modes equals better? You were talking about more able to go better. How are you keeping a lid on it so that not overwhelming to a new player? Are some of the modes gated behind certain base levels, or is anything available right out of the gate? Is everything available right out of the gate? I have played a couple of other COC competitors that did too much, and I found it extremely difficult to know what to focus on or what to prioritize without doing outside research, ultimately making it less fun experience for the casual player. I know exactly what you mean, man. I've downloaded games, and within 5 minutes, I'm confused, and that's just not a good feeling. A few of the game modes, yes, will be behind levels, but they will be relatively quickly unlocked. It's not something that you have to work for months and months and months to get to, okay? So we want to give people everything in the game as quickly as we can, with them understanding how to use it. So I think that makes perfect sense what you're saying, and it's not gonna be confusing for a new player, and it's going to be something that I hope flows very well from one game mode to the next. You're going to understand exactly what they're for, whether it be for just progression, competition, what just for chilling, lulls, whatever. The game mode should be pretty straightforward on what their objective is, and you know, I think you're gonna say this is done right. I hope so. Anyway, so we are aware of what you're talking about. Excuse me, Logan Sharp. Yo, Jake, just wondering whether the game will give the opportunity for high-level players to compete rather than just the top YouTubers, streamers, or most well-known in the community. Absolutely. That is a frustration of mine that is shared with you, obviously. And not the best players in the world are competing on these events. That's just the bottom line. And it goes for a lot of mobile games. That will not happen. I'm not saying we won't ever have a YouTuber event, something like that, where well-known faces are competing or something like that. But when it comes to the esports, the cash prizes, the events that are, you know, the best in the world, everyone's got an opportunity. I don't care who you are. If you're at the level of competition, you'll be able to enter, compete, and work your way to those finals. So I can promise you the best in the world are going to be there, not just the most well-known people. Let's see. Bart One Muse. For the live streams, you should do a weekly stream with your team, and doing Q&A, sneak peeks if applicable, etc. That gives the great community interaction. RuneScape do that, and I think it makes gamers like me feel like they that they care, and it's good to know the team well. Yeah, I can't tell you again exactly how that's going to manifest and what shape it's going to take, but that's going to happen. There's going to be something where you guys are being communicated to directly, and we'll see. We'll see how it sort of pans out. But I promise you that I will maintain communication with you guys, and there'll be a way that you can communicate with me in that genre. So, Aiden, what is your involvement in the game? Are you working on day-to-day operations or more big picture stuff? Huge fan, by the way, missing the 3-star games. Yeah, man, I am definitely more probably that 30,000 foot view guy in the company. I'm looking at things and saying, okay, here's what we need. And then the team is sort of handling, and Bato to some degree, he hired people that don't need babysit. That's just the truth of it. It's not like we're holding their hand every day and saying, now do this, do this. They know what the goal is. They know what their timeline is. And we've hired people that are self-motivated to get it done. That being said, he does manage the team, and I'm coming down there pretty much monthly, looking at what's being done and giving direction on that. So that's sort of how we're working it. Jack Mirrorman. Whatever the game is called, I hope the O doesn't stand for of. It does. I don't know why that would be a negative thing, but an ROR, it definitely is of in the middle. So I gave you one word there. Game Rescue. Is there a beta opportunity on Android? Yes. Beta will be available for Android and iOS this year. Hang in there. I don't know exactly when yet, but as quickly as we can get it to you and ready to that point to play and test, you'll have your opportunity to do it. And we're going to try to get as many people in as we can in beta. So more info to come on that. Alexander Young, Coffee and DRG question. Will the people who have made contributions via WeFunder have an opportunity to beta test, or is that reserved for the Kickstarter? He's referring to the fact that I alluded to the Kickstarter campaign that's coming, hopefully next week, maybe the week after that, that there'll be an option to reserve your spot, to guarantee your spot for beta. Yeah, the WeFunder is separate from that. That's for equity in the company. So those are separate, but if you've made some kind of really large, WeFunder donation, I mean, we want to take care of you guys that helped us get to this point. So reach out. But if you did $100 on WeFunder, yeah, it's going to be separate for that. P Miller 1673. I'm sure some people will want/have multiple accounts. Will there be a system in place like SCID to make it easier to swap between them? It was a pain to swap Clash accounts on iOS before SCID was introduced. I don't know what SCID is. It must be after my time. But the simple answer to your question is absolutely. We want people to have multiple accounts. We want them to play multiple if they want to. And when you load the game up, it's going to be sort of like old school Nintendo style. Which save game do you want to go into? And you're going to have your accounts there. It's going to be simple, easy, and painless for you guys to have multiple accounts because we encourage it. Hunter, a couple of questions since I'm considering investing. Okay. One, when does the WeFunder close? You guys have already well exceeded your mark. Yeah. They like to leave them open for, I would say, at least another couple months probably. Yeah, we've hit the point that we're happy with. Not that we wouldn't take a little more money, because with that we can hire more artists. We can do more things at launch. So that's always a good thing, is to have more out there when the game launches. So that's why, it'll be open for a little while. Why do a Kickstarter if you're getting funding from WeFunder? Because the Kickstarter is not just about funding, right? I mean, yeah, again, it's one of those things to where more money is good because you can do more out of the gates. But the Kickstarter is more about the guys that know they're going to play the game. They're going to get really cool in-game things that no one's ever going to be able to have again. One of the main things that you can do on the Kickstarter is, even for the lowest donation, you're going to be able to reserve your name. So it's not going to be like in Clash to where there could be 10 Jakes, and who's Jake? I don't know. There's only going to be one Jake. There's only going to be one name that you can make variations of it, but one name. So you're going to be able to reserve that if there's your name you want for both your player and your guild. So that's a benefit. And there's a lot of other reasons that we're doing the Kickstarter. It's for things. It's giving people that help us get started and that are going to support us and play from day one that recognition. This you're going to be able to tell when someone donated. I won't ruin it more than that. You're going to be able to tell just by looking at someone that they donated in the Kickstarter and they were like day zero guys. So that's kind of cool, I think. When do you expect to go public in the sense of an IPO if you're going that route? No guarantee. In fact, probably not going that route. We just want to build a great company, and then we'll let the rest of it work itself out, whether we get bought or do an IPO or who knows. But that's not on our radar right now. The game and making a great company, and the rest will take care of itself. I understand you may not be able to disclose some of this. Yeah, there you go, man. Hope that helps you. And if you invest, I hope it makes you a lot of money. Thundercat, once your game is unveiled and becomes a hit, do you anticipate other established game companies will quickly copy your new style and game modes and implement them into their own games? Quite possibly. I mean, let's not pretend that games don't do that. And if we have something that's really successful, they probably will. But hey, then we've made the gaming world a little bit better, right? Mission accomplished. So if they do, no problem. Last one for this episode comes from Gonzaga. Playing in emulators will be allowed. I've never really had a problem with that in this style of game. I don't feel it gives you an advantage to play with a keyboard and mouse on a base builder game, so I don't see an issue with it. Probably would not be like against terms or anything like that I can think of. All right, guys, hope you got your questions answered. If you didn't, leave me the question below, and I've still got some questions that didn't get answered. I had too many. You guys are asking really good questions, so hang in there. Your question might be on the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, stay excited and suck less.